sure it's on the right track.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it was just an additional track last time, Jeff.
Yeah, I know, but just scared. Okay.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Dude, everybody's gonna like log in and be like, is he practicing his English?
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
God, what if she actually did sound like that and had a really terrible Cockney accent?
She does.
But like while singing.
But then she wouldn't be famous.
Maybe she'd be more famous.
Hello. My.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, cool. And in 3, a 2, a 1. Welcome everybody to the 28th episode of Tech Laundry. I'm Jeff.
And I'm also confused about the time, and I'm Tertius. Are you sure? Are you sure the 28th?
28th, yeah.
Are you sure? It seems like this has been going on way too long.
Yeah, I feel like I've been doing this for like years. I've become. I keep thinking about it. I'm like, when did we start this? Like April?
Like we're so jaded now. It's like, man, we don't even love technology anymore.
Yeah, I'm just like completely winging it. But I always wing it. That's what I do in life.
You're phoning it in, Jeff. You're phoning it in.
So this week.
Yeah.
Wait,
what are we doing?
This week is
Thanksgiving. It is.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Like Thanksgiving is like my favorite holiday because it's like Christmas without like any stress because you're just supposed to like go to the table and eat and then pass out or like watch TV.
That's exactly, yeah, I like it too because I'm just like, yeah, it's you eat awesome food.
Yeah.
And that's all you have to eat.
That's the thing. There's no like having to worry about, oh, do I get this person something or is that like present good enough or whatever? No, it's just you just stuff your freaking face for lunch, then dinner, and then you just eat leftovers for breakfast.
And then the next day you just wake up and then you go and buy stuff. Like that's amazing. Like, yeah, then you go to the next day. It's like Black Friday. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like are you doing anything for Black? Are you actually gonna go to the sales and stuff?
I've done it a few times.
Like brick and mortar kind of thing.
Yeah, I've done like my mom likes to do that where she just like goes to like the different shops and like, dude, they get trashed.
People are jerks.
It's terrible.
Yeah, this is like the first time you'll see like crap on the floors and stuff. Like people are just awful. They'll leave things behind. There's always confetti or something. You're just like, what? There was not even a confetti thing. There's just crap everywhere. It makes no sense.
I remember like last year, I think it was like my family went to like Urban Outfitters. Like I was just at home and they went to Urban Outfitters.
Sure.
There was just huge like piles. Like it wasn't even on like the racks. There's just piles of clothing just on the floor and stuff. Like search through them and stuff because people don't put it away.
Yeah.
Black Friday kind of sucks, but online, Cyber Monday and Black Friday deals that are actually on Black Friday.
Just like the entire weekend is full of online deals. Like I remember last year, my big online purchase was my iPhone 6, which I got $100 off for my 64 gig version. So I got it for like the 16 gig price. I'm like, boom. I think that was my only big purchase other than like, like I always just want to get a lot of things, but I'm always kind of disappointed by the sales or I think too much about it, which is a good and bad thing, I think.
Yeah, I obsess about stuff. But before I get into that, I'm going to tell a story. Ooh. It's about time I made $40.
Like, wow, this is how I made the $40 I'm gonna spend this weekend.
Dude, I like. Oh, okay. It's okay. The story's not really that interesting, but I thought it was. I felt like I was excited about it because I was like,
don't preface it. Just say the story. Just say the story, Jeff.
Basically, so I was in Berkeley visiting a friend.
Did you get Chinese food?
No, I got this. What did it? It was like I went to a cafe that was like selling CDs. There were only classical CDs, and then it was also a cafe in the same place. I don't know how they made money. Like
coffee makes money.
Coffee makes money. I'm like, did they have two owners and they just decided to join shops? And it's like, oh, I only sell classical CDs. I'm like, who's buying the CDs to stay afloat? Like, I mean, it's Berkeley, so you never know. But
yeah,
it was just really.
They didn't have like jazz because coffee shops like jazz and Adele.
No, like
They weren't even selling Adele.
I looked around and it's only classical music.
Maybe they were just sold out of Adele. Have you ever thought about that?
This is the classical music shop and Adele.
And Adele.
Yeah,
Like, it's like we only opened the music part for Adele. Nothing else. Nothing else is important.
There's just a roped off velvet section just for her. And you're like, oh, okay.
There's like a picture of Adele and a ham. Like, just in case she wants to stop by. This ham and coffee is for her.
Ham's too salty for me. That being said,
I'm a ham guy. Like, I hate turkey. I'm a ham guy all day. Look how they make ham, bro.
Turkey done well exceeds my expectation.
Turkey. You know what's tastier than turkey? A rotisserie chicken. Okay.
I would agree with that. Yeah, chicken, turkey, hams for how I rate them.
What? Okay. I would be like, I feel like turkey's the lowest, and then like ham, and then chicken. Like straight up, just like moist, oily rotisserie chicken is magic. Straight up magic. I can't eat it anymore now because of like Costco and the E. coli thing. Did you see that? It was nuts. I was like, no, how could you?
No, I haven't. It's funny because Costco for the longest time their food court only took cash.
Yeah.
Now they have cards. They have cards, dude.
Right. Finally, like I know you can like order from like the front, so that yeah. Well, yeah, it's really. I mean, the thing is, it speeds up the process.
Yeah, and it was just like literally like the line was like just so much faster having to not. And like there used to be a time where I lived near the Costco or I worked near the Costco, so I'd just go there to eat, and I'm like, oh, cash. I'm like, sucks.
I'm so angry.
I guess I'm just not gonna eat today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to my story.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. So Berkeley.
Oh man, it's fun.
I was earlier this week in Berkeley. Continue.
Yeah, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday.
Was it yesterday? It's been so long. It's been so long.
God, so much happened. I played a lot of Fallout 4 last night. So I was in Berkeley and it's pouring rain in the morning, and like I had parked the car and I get out and I'm like at the meter paying for it, and this guy like is like he's carrying like a bag, and he's like, dude, this would be really weird, but can you drive me to the BART station? I will pay you $40. And I was like,
you don't go. That's a terrible idea. He's literally gonna kill you.
That was
He's
like
gonna carve you up like a turkey.
It makes me really hungry. Well, 'tis the season, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna die, I want to die seasonally.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was awful.
It was like, well, everything was like, I was like, I shouldn't do this, but he looks like a normal guy. Like he was like just like a student. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna spontaneously. I'm like, dude, let's do it. He's like, really? He's like, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. $40. Like the BART station's quarter of a mile that way.
Yeah.
I'll be done in like 10 minutes. I'm like, all right.
I would have been like, let me cuff you first, and then we'll go.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. I like just drove him. He's like a nuclear engineer. He's like studying in school.
Oh, you said that wrong. You said that wrong.
Nuclear. That's actually the name of like the shit, like the clean face stuff. Soap stuff. Is it nuclear? I don't know.
No, that's not.
Sounds like it. Don't put it on your face.
Don't put nuclear in your face.
It'll irradiate you. But it was just weird because I'm like, I've never had a stranger just like pay me so much money to do something so little. And like I was like, what's his deal? Like, is he just, it turns out I think he's just rich. Like
rich, and he didn't want to walk in the rain. Yeah,
that was also two things. I'm like, wow, I guess that really jacks up the price. But also I was like, I asked him, I was like, why didn't you just call an Uber? Like you're paying me a lot of money. And he was like, he did this whole thing where he was like, he's like, I just like he couldn't log into the app and all of his financial stuff was in there. Maybe he didn't have his card. I don't know. For whatever reason, like he was like too stressed out by the whole thing.
So shady.
It sounds so shady, but everything worked out. Like 5 minutes of driving, he paid me $40. He's like, all right, dude, take it easy. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Man, that's like Wall Street money. That's like totally Wall Street money. $40 every 5 minutes.
Yeah. And well, it was great because I had myself I got a steak sandwich. I got like, I got a latte. I usually don't buy lattes. Got a latte. And
so you just spent all your money there.
I spent $20 on just breakfast. So I have another extra $20. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it feels pretty good. It feels really good. And that time, it's funny because that whole experience, I'm like, I've always I've been interested in being an Uber driver, but that really was like, if that's what Uber driving is like, I'm very okay with that
I
experience.
feel like you'd be really good at that, Jeff. And here's my thing. I've always had this plan. I need to learn how to drive and buy a car. But I would travel to new places and be a, like Uber driver in the mornings and then explore the city at night.
You should do that because I was
Yeah.
just talking to my brother was having a conversation because like now you can have like housing taken care of by Airbnb. You have
Mhm.
Uber for generating money, and then you also have like other things like you can do chores for people like with
Yeah.
TaskRabbit and a few other ones.
Yeah, or they
Yeah.
can be like do like the delivery service things, you know?
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
can
it's
work
like
anywhere.
yeah, and it like I really want to do this project where you just do that, like go to every town and try to see what, and then chronicle the jobs I get during that. Like totally like crowdsource my year.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's basically what it is, and see if you could just do it, and that would actually be really that'd be kind of a cool
Yeah, it's
blog
like
type story that
yeah,
follows like
it's like
somebody. It's like the guy who like traded like a paperclip up into a house.
yeah,
Remember that story from a long time ago? That was a good story.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So that that was like my son.
So basically, here's the awesome segue. Jeff, you now have $20 to spend during Black Friday.
That's right. All the sweet deals. I don't even know what I'm gonna like. I haven't even thought about what I want for Christmas or like this is like the worst thing for me
Really?
because I'm like, what do I want? Like, I have
Okay.
to like really think about what I actually want.
Okay, no, here's the thing. For me, it's the opposite. I know exactly what I want, and everything I want is super expensive. Like I ran into this like problem with my birthday because like everyone's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Okay, I want a MacBook Pro. I want a 70 to 200 millimeter lens, and that's it."
Yeah, you guys can't buy that for me. It's too
Or like
expensive.
$150 trackpad, or like the new like Apple keyboard and stuff, or the Apple TV. It's like no one can in their right mind would buy me anything. It's not like, so you either have to go like super sentimental and you have to do something and can do like figure it out, or you buy my super extravagant presents, which
Yeah.
no one does.
So they're gonna have to like really figure you out as a person, or they just go straight for like the
Well,
$1,000
the thing
product.
is, if they knew me as a person, they would know I love shiny Apple products.
Don't we all? And you're actually, and so word is on the street that you're gonna buy one soonish.
Dude,
Or wait.
I am getting ready to buy, like, finally pull the trigger on buying my 15-inch MacBook Pro. Like I'm just waiting right now because Black Friday is coming up, so I'm hoping that the Apple Store has like a deal on like maybe $100 gift card on the Apple Store, like an App Store gift card, or like maybe like a free Apple like Watch Sport. That'll be magic.
Have they done that before where they include
They used to include iPod Touches with their college like laptop thing. So yeah,
if they did that, if they actually like did a thing like you buy a Mac, we just throw in like this like watch, like that would
Yeah.
actually get adoption rate. Like people would
yeah, it would explode adoption rate because one, like that's what they used to do that with the iPod, and it got people like you really using the iPod. So really like hopefully that's the case. And if not, I would be really like I'm either hoping for an Apple Watch add-on, maybe an App Store gift card, or free Apple Care. That would be
Apple
really
Care
good.
would be really, really nice.
Yeah, I mean, like for the I looked it up, for the 15-inch MacBook Pro, it's like a $300 investment for Apple Care Plus or something.
Worth it in my eyes.
Yeah, definitely worth it. But like the cool thing is you have like a year to like buy the package. You don't have to like buy it right away. You can just wait until a little bit later. So
Yeah, and be like, okay, maybe do I actually need to do this? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like I feel like I will in the future have to pay for it. I think they like go on sale too in like Best Buy. So that's one of those things. But like the entire process of really debating getting a MacBook Pro was like a long-term process for me. Just like figuring out whether I wanted, all the stuff I had to think about, like, which is basically like the point of this episode is kind of like to get into our heads on how we buy things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a bit of a because right now there's no like news we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's mostly just about like ourselves and our like buying
Yeah,
habits.
well, I mean, like, it is kind of news. Black Friday and Cyber Monday, it's coming up. So this is the big news for tech. Because this is when a lot of people buy all their technology, like right before Christmas, all that stuff. Like, my family bought all our TVs, always on Black Friday. My phone, I got on Cyber Monday, And this is going to be when I buy my laptop. So it's like, this is a universal thing I guess, in America. It's a very American thing. So there's like, I go through. I have like set rules, like set a bunch of rules for myself to try to avoid spending. This is just like general stuff. This is how I decide all of my purchase. So, do you want me to start, or do you want to start?
I'll have you start because
Okay.
he's got quite the list. Let me tell you.
Okay, so like everyone knows, I'm kind of an insane person when it comes to gear. I am like obsessed with new things, and I want all the new things all the time. But the difference between me and a lot of people are, I don't really, I rarely pull the trigger. Very rarely do I pull the trigger because I do have this rigorous kind of test for myself. So here's my first rule. I mean, I guess it's just a guideline. Is one, I have an intermediary. I always have an intermediary whenever I buy anything. So right now it's Jeff. We've told this story before. Jeff is my guy when it comes to buying things from Amazon. I purposely don't pay the $50 for an Amazon Prime subscription because you get a discount if you've had it before. If you want to like, so I never renew up on that because I know, like knowing myself, I would just start spending $5 on this, $5 on this, like just a bunch of random things. So yeah, I make sure there's someone in between me and buying things. In this case, it's Jeff. Before, I used to have my best friend Brianna be my intermediary. This is when I used to not have a debit card, and I would have to ask her every time, like, hey, can you buy this online for me? So when it used to come to like buying Threadless T-shirts, you remember those?
Actually, I have a few. Yeah, I used to have a few.
Like Threadless T-shirts, like stuff on eBay. Like I remember, like I was like, I wanted like. Okay, this is weird, but for some reason, I really wanted to be like decked out in McCain and like George W. Bush bumper stickers, like just because all my friends were liberals and I thought it would be hilarious.
Like you made a suit of stickers?
No, I just like I would want it on my binder, on my books, just
like,
very stupid like high school stuff. And Brianna was like, "No, that's not gonna work. You might think this is funny for this second, but I'm not letting you buy this." And she was right. I would have regretted it right after I bought it because it would have given me a lot more headache than like it was worth.
Like that package would have arrived and then you would have stared at it and you're like, I really did buy 100 stickers. Like, man.
Yeah, it was just too much. Like, it was just a terrible idea. So yeah, after that, I definitely like having someone to bounce ideas off of and have to try to convince. Like, it doesn't have to be like a random tech laundry guy like Jeff. It could be like your significant other if you're like kind of like me when you just always want to buy something new. You know?
Yeah. Oh, okay. You want the feedback? Yes.
Yeah.
I know what's up.
Like, do you have a system in place that like you have to like confer with someone, or are you just mostly a solitary thing when you do your purchases?
It's usually solitary, but sometimes I'll be like, I'll ask my brother. Basically, I'll send a message like, dude, I'm thinking about buying this, and he'll be like, nah, man. Like recently, I was like, I read everything about the new Surface Pro 4 that came out and like the book, and I was like, will these suit my needs? Like, do I want to like, should my next laptop be a Windows machine? And like, I was feeling pretty good about it, but at the end, I was like when you add everything in, because you're like when you have a Surface Pro, you're gonna buy the add-on for the keyboard,
the stylus.
I'm gonna buy like I like the next process, the mid to high range processor, 16 gigs, like 250, like a big process, a big SSD. It's gonna be about the same price, and I'm like, if I'm gonna pay that price, that premium, why don't I just buy an Apple product that's gonna retain its value? Like I looked up on eBay recently. My laptop, it's from 2008, late 2008, first unibody MacBook, just straight up 13-inch MacBook.
Still has a removable battery.
Removable battery, like user installable RAM, like hard drive. It's all there in one easy to just pop off panel. $300 it still sells for. Like I've seen completed listings and sold listings on eBay, still $300.
That's after what, 5 or 6 years of use? It's
8 years. Like
8 years
or 6? Or, wait, 7. Okay, I was like 20. Okay, 2008. Yeah, it is 7 years. It's like that doesn't make any sense. Like how it can retain so much value. But when you buy it, like the thing is, like, is someone gonna buy the Surface Pro years from now and be like, oh shit, man, the Surface Pro 4, like that was some shit? Like no one's gonna say that.
No, that's like, if you think about it, that's part of the way I buy things too, is that like I only really buy Canon lenses and Apple products because they retain their value like crazy. Like I bought an 85mm lens once and I realized, I probably don't really need this like later on. And I sold it for like $20 less than I bought it for. It was ridiculous. So
that's pretty good. It's like a rental fee.
Yeah, but here's the other thing: is that when I used to buy, like, this is my number two. Is like this is one of my biggest rules, and this is how I usually like maintain having a savings account and having money. Is that I never ever buy anything full price. Like I just don't. Like when it comes to clothes, when it comes to technology, it comes to everything. I never buy anything full price. So one, you have to do your research. You have to make sure, because like there's MSRP and there's the real kind of street value. They'll say, oh yeah, like this, like the 5D Mark III is worth $3,500, but nobody pays more than $2,000 for it.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you know exactly what it is. This is a weird thing to say, especially now when a lot of people do like online shopping, but learn to haggle. Like I know it doesn't happen as much anymore, but when you can, try it, because it's actually worked out for me. Like I haggle a lot in thrift stores. Like I would be like, $3, I'll give you two. And it's usually, they're usually like, yeah, fine, whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's an extra $1. That's a taco. Okay, you just earned yourself a taco by just asking.
It costs nothing to just haggle.
Yeah. Okay, and then there's some things that are actually bigger, like when I bought my Canon 6D. Did I tell you this story?
No, you didn't.
So I saved up like the $1,500 that no, hold on, it was like $1,000, and I was gonna put $500 into into my credit card, and I pay it off over time or something. And I remember I just listened to this This American Life episode on a good guy discount. Basically, the thing was you go to the cashier and you're ringing something up and you're just like, hey, gotta have a good guy discount on this. I'm a good guy, you're a good guy. Can we work something out here?
Huh.
And yeah, it's a weird thing. And guess what? It got me $250 off my freaking 6D. $250.
So how did the conversation go? Like, how did that work?
No, he's like, okay, let me see what I can do. I think they put in like an employee discount or something like that. Something along like I feel like there's a lot of places have kind of wiggle room. Like how like in car dealerships, it's kind of more acceptable to haggle your way down. But nobody really does it in like, what's it called? In like regular stores. But
like
there is
stores and stuff.
Yeah, but there's like a little bit of wiggle room there because there are like employee discounts. There are like other discounts you can do because sometimes you have a complaint and they want to make you sell you something. So they usually can like chip away at it. So I mean, it sounds weird, and like I'm pretty sure 2 out of 3 times it's not gonna work, but it never hurts to try.
That seems so crazy because you're not even asking for something specific. You're just like, come on, like
yeah, just like I'm a good guy, you're a good guy. I kind of want a discount. Help me out here. I really want to buy this product. A little bit of a discount would push me in the right direction.
It's funny because like I could see myself. Well, okay, so I used to work retail, but it was for like a party supply store. So like, and like discount was already in their name, like their byline. So I was like, why? Like you want a discount on top of a discount? And like there would be like times where like people are like, hey, can you give me a discount? Like they just random like ask me out and like there's like no coupon, nothing. They just ask me for it, and I'll be like, no. And like I was trying to turn on. I'm like, no. But other times there would be like if it was like kids, like we had a candy too, so there's a lot of kids that just like come in, they're like pulling out pennies, and I'm like, they like come up like 2 cents short, like I don't know if I can like just do it, dude. I don't even like, I just didn't care. There's like sometimes we'll make exceptions for that, but never like so if I worked at like Best Buy and one guy was like, come on man, like $250, just give me some discount, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'd be like, I guess maybe if I actually had a good feeling about that person, I'd be like, all right, maybe
I'm a shady character though. I'm like a.
Did you come in with like a trench coat and like be like, hey, you got any sweet deals, man? Like you're scratching your throat, your long gangly like fingernails or something.
That's not how I live, but okay.
Damn. Okay. Well, I'll have to remember that. I didn't. Yeah, no, that's interesting.
Can you deny the fact that I paid $1,250 for something I saved $1,500 for?
That's what's like 20% savings?
Yeah. There's no way. Okay, the thing is they'll never jack up the price because you're asked.
Yes.
The worst they can say is no, and you're like gonna just be like, well, I tried. And then you're just clear conscience. And like, yeah, so going back, never buy full price anything. So I usually buy things refurbished. We talked about me wanting to get the 15-inch MacBook Pro. Guess what's being purchased refurbished? That thing. Because it's going to be $300 less than retail. And when you know it's refurbished, you know they've already tested it. It comes with the same warranty. Why not?
Apple, like there's literally like I bought Apple refurbished stuff before, and it's like it's indistinguishable from like brand new.
Yeah,
Whatever.
they replaced the shell, the case, and everything. So, like the innards might be like used maybe once or twice, but everything else has been tested and it's great, and it has the same warranty, and you can add on your Apple Care. Why would you spend $300 more? That's the thing with like refurbished. You can't really plan for it because they do have limited supply, kind of thing. So.
Yeah, sometimes they come and go. You're like, oh, that popped up like that configuration because like all the MacBooks are like everything's soldered into the board now, so you can't like use or replace things.
Yeah, so that's why I have to go for the full-on 16 gig model, so it's like the 8 gig model because I can't replace it or add on to it. And I was like, yeah, this has been one of those things.
Yeah.
And this is my third thing now. We're going to the third thing. So before I buy anything, it's really easy to just be like, I should just get this. You know, I need it. You really have to ask yourself the really, really tough questions that you don't really want to think about when you want to buy something because, oh, I just want to buy something for me. You know?
Yeah.
You have to really ask yourself, like, one, what do you have that like this thing that you want to get can accomplish already? Like, I have my MacBook Pro right now, 13-inch MacBook Pro from 2009. What do I need this new laptop for that this one can accomplish? There's a few things for me. It's like, one, bigger screen for better for photo editing, and two, video editing. Like, that was one of my biggest problems with my laptop right now. Like, I would have never let this thing go except for right now when I can't do video editing, and it made my job harder. Like, right now, I'm missing out on work that I can do if, you know, I had something that was capable of editing 1080p video. Like, seamlessly.
No,
so,
yeah, definitely.
And like, okay, the other thing is like going back to that is, you know, is this something that will be a source of income or can it pay for itself? And in this case, yes, it can pay for itself because it is contributing to my work. That's why you never see me buying video games, basically.
Especially with Steam, like for those who not in the know about Steam sales are about to happen fairly soon, and like everything gets discounted. Like you could buy crazy
for like $5.
You could buy like the entire Fallout series for like like $10, and it's like it's like a billion hours of gameplay you can buy for but anyhow.
Yeah, that's why I always think about like someone was telling me, oh, you want to play like Star Wars Battlefront or get an Xbox or get a PlayStation, and I'm like, will this make me money? Will my time that I put into this make me money? And most of the time it's just like it's just a waste of time. I can be doing other things. I find taking photographs fun, and I'll do that, and it's for free because I already have the equipment. So, you know, why spend money on video games? So, meh, never video games. And the last part about like asking yourself the tough questions is, does the product have good resale value? Like we talked about this before, how like, okay, Apple products, they retain their value for a long time, and you can still sell them. Like, how can you could you even sell a laptop from Windows 2 years ago for like even a quarter of its original price? No one will buy it.
Yeah.
Because like the Windows market is so wide and so big that like no one's actually actively looking for the model that you have. As opposed to MacBook Pro, there's only one line kind of thing. It's like Air, Pro, MacBook, like up until recently MacBook. So that's why I only buy Apple products and Canon lenses because they retain their value. So you have to ask yourself those questions. So go running back, you know, do you have anything that can accomplish the same thing? Like, is the difference like negligible? Does it have a good resale value? Can it be a source of income? And well, the last thing is, can you save up for something bigger that could accomplish more and will actually truly be the right purchase for you? Like, would a cheap zoom lens compare in a year to a really great lens that you can use for the next 10 years?
So that actually dovetails into one of my, so I only have three. I have three things that I care about. And weighing item quality is like a big deal, like paying more. Because like, so I have a friend, I've had this friend for quite some time. And he's always been the person, so like we're talking about headphones, like there have been so many times where he's gone through like tons of headsets, like probably like maybe 7, which is like a lot to me. I don't know. Because I've only owned a handful because I spend like a lot of money on my headphones. Not these ones particularly. I'm just using them because they're all like sealed and silent and stuff. I just didn't feel like having something all over my head. For those who are watching the video, but I have like these that I bought years and years ago, and they still are great. They're huge.
Yeah.
Sony XB700s, and they're like 50 millimeter like freaking drivers. They're all about bass, so you can see like how they're like worn on the inside. Like I used to wear them like a ton. But he would like always go for like something that was just like $20 that was just at a big box store and just buy it and not even like research it or do anything. He would just buy it, and then like it would break within a month, or like the microphone on it would be like rah, 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 like it would just be bad, and I'd be like, why don't you just like spend like $100 on like a solid headset that's been like well tested, because you're just gonna get so much mileage. Like all my stuff, I've been using it for years. This not this microphone, but like the audio interface I have it plugged into. I bought this in high school for $50. It included the a condenser mic, the stand, XLR cable, and the box itself. And I'm using it here, years later. Like I actually think I bought this in like 2006. So 9 years of use for $50. Insane. And it still works. It's Windows still installs the drivers when I plug it in amazingly. It's not like it doesn't have any issues. So just weighing IM quality, when it's like some people approach things like if you buy shoes at like a dollar store and you're like, well, they're $1, they're cheap, but you're also not factoring for things like your health. Like maybe the shoes are poorly designed.
Yes. Yeah.
Like maybe they're hurting your feet. Maybe they're like gonna catch fire. They're more flammable shoes. People don't usually
get rained on.
They get rained on. They'll like just dissolve or something. There's just like there's hidden things that people don't account for. And if you're gonna pay for something that's so important that you use every day, don't cheap out on it. Go for something that's quality and like will last you a long time.
Yeah. That's why my brother's like, why don't you just buy a Windows PC for $500? And I'm like, this is something that I work with, I use every day. I probably use it more than anything else. Why would I cheap out on this thing? This is something that I have to deal with every day of my life. So I'm okay with spending over like $1,500 for something like that.
Yeah. And like, I bought like my new phone, and I was like, it's like, man, I'm spending a lot of money. But I always like reminded myself, I'm like, because you spend it because it's the most important device in your entire life.
Yeah. Like think about it. You would, it's like, would you spend $1 a day on your device? I'm like, yes. For my laptop, for my phone, absolutely. I would absolutely do that. For other things, like, do I really need the most top of the line coffee maker? Do I really need the most expensive like toaster? No, I don't think so. It's why? What's the point? I barely use them. Just like it's a thing. It's nice, but I'm not gonna spend $300 on a toaster. Yeah.
And that's one of the things is that like so what happens for me, and it also seems to happen for you, is that I become obsessed with an item. So like this is how my buying mind works.
This is now Jeff's number 2.
Jeff's number 2, item obsession is what I call it. A lot of my family members go through this thing too, where so like as I told you guys earlier, I was like researching about the Microsoft Surface Pro, and I read everything. So if you guys have ever read AnandTech articles, they're really dense and they're really thorough. They're like they test everything about like a product. And I was even like reading about how like the processors and like how they construct them on like the new Apple A9 chips. And I was like I already own the phone, but I'm still reading about it because I'm obsessed about it, just reading about it. So anyway, I was reading about these Surface Pros, and really look into it. Like I was like, do I want this? Like, will this suit my needs? Like, I like the idea that it's a tablet, but when it also has the capability of doing like medium workload video editing when I need it to do it, and it comes with like the pen. So if I was like doing like a drawing for something, like I could do it. There's like a lot of flexibility, and I'm like, doesn't seem like the design's kind of nice. Like Microsoft actually did a pretty good job, and like the build quality seems like to be okay. And so I was just like kind of like, I was really going through all the phases, like what other people were saying about it, like what did other people like, just keep consuming content until like eventually like over time my mind does one of two things: either I buy it, or I just suddenly all the excitement just goes away for a product. And that's just like kind of what happened. I was just like, yeah, I guess I don't need this, huh?
Yeah.
It just happens. Like I don't know what leads up to it, but at some point, like I'm just like my mind decides that like, hey, actually, I don't think you need this.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I need this.
It's actually a really great system because something that you want to buy, you should be like wanting still if you really want to buy it. Like I mean, if you really do need it. Like it might be like a month from now or 2 months from now. If you really do need something, you'll still want it the same amount as you did when you first started thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I like wait like a month from now and I'm still thinking about like maybe I should still buy it. I'm like, well, maybe I'll like research again and see like
Yeah.
if there's anything's changed. Like as people have used it, because it only came out like a month ago or so.
Yeah.
If anything has like come up that I shouldn't buy it for.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, this kind of dovetails into one of my five is the fact that you really like to be a consumer, you need really need to learn the difference between a want and a need. It seems like the most obvious, clear cut, like elementary school kind of thing. But to really understand a product for what it can do for you and whether or not it's just you wanting something new, wanting something shiny, something you can play with for the like for 20 days versus something you really do need. Like a need is a much bigger thing, much more important, much more kind of timeless. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
And I'm trying to think how I was going to follow up with that point, but basically stuff like that.
yeah, I mean, I bought my voice recorder a year ago, and I don't regret it because one, it makes me money. Two, I use it for work like all the time, and three, I get to do this with it. Like I would have been wondering if I never bought it. I would have been like, maybe I should still buy this. Maybe I should want to buy this. Like there's never been a day I regretted it or wanted to return it because it's something that I researched thoroughly, and I really did need it. Like it really assists me with my work and all my projects I want to do. Like really understanding that versus me wanting a really awesome speaker, like one of those Marshall speakers or like
Oh
those
yeah.
wireless head. Like I'm obsessed with that for like 3 months. I really wanted to buy it. I was like, I really want a really awesome like speaker system. I did all the research, like what you do. I usually like Wacom's like kind of like, oh, this one's pretty and this one is kind of like, it looks like an old school like speaker. But after a little while, I'm like, you know what? After 3 months, like I know how like some people are like sleep on it. Sometimes the best thing to do is wait 3 months to see if you actually still want this thing. Because just if it's something you really should get, it's something you would still want a little while from like later on.
Yeah, there's been a lot of times where I've bought something and like regret it. I'm like, I don't know why I bought this.
Yeah.
Like, that was just like poorly done.
Yeah.
And so my last point is
Okay.
price matching. So for those who don't know, Amazon does have a brick and mortar store. It's called Best Buy. Yeah. So there's like a lot of times where like I've needed something the day of. I can't wait 2 days. Like I need to buy this for a client or I need to like do things. And there's even been small things where like I've bought like either a flash drive to like mail to somebody or I need to buy like DVD labels, which is weird. And apparently DVD labels at like Office Max are like really expensive for some reason. So what I always do is that like I download the Amazon app and then inside the app you just scan the barcode of any item that you're going to buy and then you look it up. And then if Amazon has it at like their prime prices for like way lower, you just like tell that to the guy like, hey, can you price match this with Amazon? They're like, yeah, sure. And they'll do it. Done. Like deal. Like they'll match.
Same
price match
day
Amazon.
shipping, bro.
Same day shipping. You don't have to like, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, you're not buying from Amazon, but it doesn't really matter because you're getting the exact same product. So
Oh, boohoo! Amazon didn't get a sale.
yeah, I'm sure they're not hurting and worrying about it. So almost
Somewhere Jeff Bezos is like, Jeff, why? You used me.
you use me for my prices. I'm sure it'll get to the point where like they're gonna start like tracking my phone and like jacking up the prices individually. I don't know if it's probably won't be a thing, but if it does, that's gonna be such a scandal when it happens. Price match everything. Basically, if you have to buy something the same day, or that's the only actually reason I can think of is that like if you absolutely need to buy it the same day, yeah, never pay full price. Always price match with another site that you can. Yeah. And almost every site, yeah, every store I've ever been to always says like, do you price match Amazon? Like, yeah. So I was like, well then I don't know why people don't do it. I mean, maybe some people are just like ashamed to ask.
Exactly. It's just like the whole kind of get the good guy discount thing. It feels weird for you to haggle, but In the end of the day, dude, it's you and money, and they're not your friends. Let's be clear here. Best Buy, Amazon, any of your brick and mortar things, they're not your friends. They're there to make money. Try to keep a little bit of your money. Like,
Yeah, they're business first before
they're
anything
business.
else.
They're not gonna be like, they're not gonna hand you just a discount just because you just walked in. You have to ask for it. You have to work for it. Like, you do have to do your research and all that stuff. So it's on you. They're not gonna just be like, oh, hey, I kind of like you. Here's an extra $20 off. Why not?
And so, yeah, and sometimes that stuff happens. A lot of it's like a social engineering-esque approach. If you're buying something in person,
Yeah.
and if I'm buying something online, I often I just scour the internet for like coupon codes like crazy. Like
Coupon codes are like, yeah, they're pretty great.
And
It's
there's
one of my
usually-
things that didn't make my 5 is like coupon codes because I rarely find them.
I rarely find them, but when I do, I'm like, oh, it was just like a nice thing.
Yeah.
That they throw in there. There's usually like big ones that always been promoted, like Squarespace, like discount codes, or like there's one for Soylent that like gets 20% off if you subscribe, which is like 20% off. Like, awesome. Like, that's amazing. So always price match, always be scouring for better and better. Actually, one last thing I want to add in.
You have a fourth one?
I don't have a fourth one.
You lied to the viewers.
I was
or
supposed to add
listeners.
this onto the weighing item quality. So there are like times where like you don't need to buy the most expensive premium product for certain uses. Like sometimes just okay quality will just use, as long as it's not like if you're buying like, let's say like a GorillaPod that you're buying for $1. I don't know if I'm gonna trust, my like $1,700 of glass and like camera to put it on like a $1 tripod. That like doesn't make sense. Like if it breaks, well, you have only yourself to blame because you bought something that was super cheap.
Yeah.
But there's sometimes where like you just need something that's just throwaway. Like oftentimes like earbuds are like the biggest thing that just break. Like you just use
Or
them.
you lose, or you put it in the wash.
Yeah, you put in the wash and it's like
You're very
not
susceptible to destruction.
yeah, like dude, I've lost a lot of pairs, and this is like I don't even know.
I've probably broken 10 Apple headphones.
Yeah, those are like, and they always go out one ear, and I'm like trying really hard to like bend the wire so I can get like stereo sound. And I was like, what am I doing?
They never last along with me. I either step on them, or I wash them, or I lose them. They never last long enough to like fray.
Yeah, they last like a month. Amazingly, mine have lasted just about a month. So I'm looking to make sure that let's see if they die sometime this week.
TikTok, bro, TikTok.
So Deal Extreme. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about Deal Extreme. So there's a site called, literally it's dx.com, Deal Extreme.
Amazing name for a website.
I don't know how they got it. Must have been ultra expensive. They must have got a deal on it though, because that's in their name. What?
It'd be funny if they paid full price for it. Hypocrites.
We actually went almost bankrupt from buying this.
We just needed the name. Like, it was a non-negotiable thing.
So Deal Extreme is like a Chinese made, like basically just Chinese made no-name stuff. And it's not like the type of stuff, it's better than the stuff you'd buy at like a dollar store. Like dollar store is like really weird kind of stuff. Like whenever you go in there, you're like, I don't know, like this doesn't look quality at all.
Yeah.
But sometimes like you need stuff that will just like, it does one thing. Like you need like audio cables, or you need like just some small thing that's not
like a micro USB, kind of like maybe a memory card holder.
Yeah, converter, or like just like small, like maybe USB hub or something. And like their stuff isn't that bad. Like there's a lot of people who like their headphones that you can buy for like a couple bucks. Everything on that site's like really, really cheap. The trade-off for it is that you have to wait a while because it's shipping from China.
Yeah.
Wait like 3 weeks for your package to get here. So you just like basically buy stuff now for like really, really cheap, and then you just forget about it. And then when it gets here, you have a pleasant surprise about it.
It's like, whoa, look at this, like past me bought me a present.
And it's like, oh yeah, it's like you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about this, or like whatever you might buy. So I've had a lot of people that like kind of swear by their headphones that are not bad. And headphones are something, you break and lose, and like maybe you're just that kind of person that doesn't want to invest $200 into a nice pair of earphones because you're just going to lose them anyways. So
it's like one of those things, like earbuds, buy cheap. Headphones, go for the real thing.
Definitely. I've got I've like all the headphones I've ever bought except maybe one have broken that were like a long time ago. But everything I've bought I've paid like $250 above for them. And like don't cheap out on that, man.
Yeah, like things that you put on your body, like kind of like technology that you have to like really wear all the time. Don't cheap out on it. Like buy yourself a really nice pair of boots. Don't cheap out on boots. You know,
Anything that connects you to the ground is what some people say. Like the tires, shoes, bed,
gravity.
gravity stuff. So anyhow, definitely follow those. Definitely
Okay.
follow those. I know where I was going with that, but Deal Extreme's awesome. Definitely check it out. Their site's
Okay,
kinda
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna put aside $20 and just buy $20 worth of stuff there, and I'll let you know what I get.
That will be really interesting because they have weird stuff, dude. They got like, oh, their site's up now. They have like a 99% one, and it's like this is such a weird tool. I like do like I guess like because like sometimes like they have like LED lighting stuff. So if like you want cheap LED lights, or like maybe I just want to like line the corner of my room and have like ambient lighting. That'd be
Or
kind of
like
cool.
like behind your monitor, you want to have that ambient light around your monitor.
Yeah, it's like when you put the lights under your car, except it's for
Yeah.
your monitor.
Yeah.
Just like small stuff like
It
that.
eases your eyes when it's really dark. Yeah.
Creature comforts, creature comfort stuff.
So that's dx.com.
DX.com.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that one out. Like before I get to my last one, there's two websites I use. I think what this mentioned, I mentioned this in our top websites. Mine is slickdeals.net is one of my big ones I go to every morning and actually consistently throughout the day. I just look at it. Like that's where I learn about like the best prices for things, and the community is really great in that because they'll let you know like, oh, this deal was up like a month ago and it was like $10 cheaper that time. So not the best deal to jump on. So it's like really great for that. And Tech Bargain's actually my first bargain website that I go to. Like when I used to go to, but now it's like exclusively Slick Deals mostly. So those are my two websites.
And make sure when you're on those sites, like if you see a deal and you're it's something you've been scoping for a while, jump on that deal as fast as you can because like, people like
and also like check like the comments and stuff because people like who have purchased the same item, it's like a really quick like review thing, like really fast. So definitely check that out. I think I'm ready for my last one, Jeff.
Yes, let's hear it.
Budget. It's really important for you to have a budget, especially during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Just know exactly how much you'll be able to spend. Take into account your income level, take into account your savings, okay? Jeff is not gonna go and just buy a $6,500 Mac Pro willy-nilly because it got like $200 discounted. You know, like I'm not gonna do that. That's crazy. I'm not gonna buy a $400 TV just because it used to be $8,000 because it's not in my budget. Okay, just because something is a great deal doesn't mean it's something that you should buy.
The best deal is a deal not made. Just remember that.
Who said that? It's like
That's
drunk Confucius.
Really? No, one of my English teachers told me that, and I was like, that's actually a good idea. Because like that's what happens when I'm thinking about food. Like if someone's like, oh, do you want to add this? And I'm like, no, I don't want to add that. Because like I inherently was like, yeah, I'll just buy it. It's like 50 cents more. But I'm like, I don't actually need this. So I'm not gonna do it because that's a deal. By not buying something, you're getting a deal by not paying money for it.
Or you get the guacamole, dumbass.
No, I never pay extra for that. So, dude, they cost like $2 at Chipotle. It's insane.
Chipotle?
Chipotle? Did I say Chipotle? I said Chipotle.
No, you said Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Well, we'll never know because we're not recording anything.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's really important. So in addition to my MacBook Pro that I'm gonna buy either on Black Friday or Cyber Monday, or if there's not any deals, just the day afterwards, I'm gonna set aside $300 for myself just to be like presents for people, presents for me. But I'm never gonna go over that because I can't handle like just too much credit or like too much hit on my savings because I know exactly how much I have. I keep track every day of my purchases. So just make sure to budget. It's so freaking important. Like that's the first rule of being an adult. Budget your money and your time well. Okay? Just come on, Jeff.
If you guys are looking for good sites to do budgeting, mint.com.
Mint's good. Around. I use Mint. I use Bellegarde.
What's Bellegarde?
It's an app I use to make sure that like every like charge on my card is kosher.
Oh, okay. So it's like going through and like, okay, that's like I remember buying that. That and there's also if you guys are into like purely online banks, Simple is quite good.
Mm-hmm.
So that it has like really good budgeting systems that are put into it. It's all web interface, so you can like kind of get familiar with what you're doing. Mint does the same thing, except it works through any banking site. would highly recommend, because it like, yeah, you set budgets for yourself, and then when you go over them, it warns you and says like, hey, like you have X amount left of budget in your month and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much for me. It's just top 3: price matching, item obsession, weighing item quality.
Yeah. Mine is having an intermediary, never buy anything full price, ask the really tough questions, learn the difference between want and need, and definitely stick to a budget. So yeah, like good luck you guys on like Black Friday. Hopefully nobody like goes bankrupt this weekend.
Let's hope no one dies either this time.
Sweet Jesus, Jeff.
I'm not sure if it happens every year, but it's nearly there's always some store where it's just like someone just gets trampled on. Like, that's just sad. Because like no one had to die for that. That's not a very good deal.
Yeah.
For someone to die. So just keep that in mind.
that was dark. That's everyone. If you like are confused, that's Jeff advocating for no murder, because that's a very controversial topic.
Yeah,
Jeff is like, don't kill.
Yeah, don't kill. But most people are like, well, but it's cheap, and I'm like, well, I mean, how cheap was the TV? How good was the deal? Was it like, was it worth it? Was it worth killing somebody?
Was 4K really worth that man's soul?
Yeah, it was really like, but that's what makes it so sad, because it's also like trivializing like this guy died.
Yeah.
Because someone else was so greedy that they wanted like something, and like that seems insane. It was over something they're gonna throw away like in like 10 years.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah.
Jeff just like turned capitalism on its head.
It's just I think it's so stupid. That's why I don't do Black Friday physically.
Brick and mortar. Yeah, physically. I don't
like,
do it physically.
The idea just stresses me out. People like wait freaking like hours, like they'll like start like Thanksgiving Day like camping out. I'm like, that's the most like time is also money, guys.
Yeah.
Like
no.
like,
Like, that's why some people like hire hipsters to hang out. You've never heard of that?
Oh, it's true. Yeah, people do that for like iPhone launches and stuff. Remember that? Do you remember that? Like when the iPhone initially launched, there was that guy who's like first in line, and the woman just had a bunch of money. Was like, I'm gonna like buy this entire phone, like all this whole store's iPhones. So, like, here's like, enough money to buy an iPhone. And he was like, you could take, sure. So he like took it, got in the back of the line, and then when she paid, like went to the front, she's like, I want to buy all the iPhones. They're like, there's only one per customer, and she was like, what? And she just wasted money, basically trying to like buy out the store when there was clearly
like limit. Good luck trying to be a dick, lady.
And then the guy at the end of the line was like, just basically like went through the line, got his iPhone for free, and was like, it's right here. He's like very like matter of fact about it. He's like, because it was free, cool, and he walked off.
Like, pay it off.
it felt so good to see like justice porn like that.
It's not like, justice. It's just like a prevention of jackassery.
It is kind of justice though, because she went in there being like, she was gonna like completely screw over everybody else in line. That was like her intention, was to buy them all out, and like she was being all smarmy about it. She had like literally, she bought it all. She had all in cash. She had like however much money it is to cost like to buy out a whole store, and she was being all like, yeah, it's great. And then
I don't think this is a real thing. I don't.
No, it is, dude. It was on the news. Swear to God. I'll link this, guys, because it feels really good when you watch. You're like, yeah, you suck. It feels so much better when you're better than somebody else. It feels so good. So you can find us at techlaundrypodcast.com. We'll have all the show notes up in there. Big shout out to Acast or Acast for doing our hosting. So you can check out our enriched content on their app.
We got links and pictures. It's a whole to do.
The letter acast.com, and check that out.
Follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Jeffrey A. Barron. We actually forgot to put our name tags up on this episode, but that's okay.
No one's watching.
it's a nude episode. It's fine.
Feels so dirty.
I'm
at Tech Laundry. It's at Tech_Laundry.
Tech _Laundry is our main account. Individual accounts, Jeffrey A. Barron.
And I'm at Tertius Buffete.
And what are the plugs? Is it all plugs?
Oh, Patreon! If you guys want to send us cash. Like, we really want burritos to eat while we're like filming this. So if you want to like send us burrito money, that'd be awesome.
What if we made that like our first purchase? Like, well, with the first $10, we're gonna buy burritos.
Yeah, and you can watch us eat the burritos.
Yeah, we'll put it up there. Like, thanks for buying. Like, we bought it.
We did it.
We did it, guys.
That's when you made it, when somebody has purchased your burrito for you.
It feels so good.
Yeah.
Maybe someday. So throw us some money. Don't throw us some money. It's whatever, guys. Check it out. Patreon.com/techlaundry. We'll have it in the notes as well. I think it's also in the description of this episode. Depends on what you're using to listen to us with, because sometimes it doesn't like have the proper like hyperlinking. Like I don't know why.
Life happens, man. Life happens.
Yeah, I guess so.
Internet happens.
But I think that's all for this episode. And until next time.
Have a really awesome Thanksgiving, you jerks.
Yeah, dude. Freaking turkey.
Like,
Forever.
pass that on the table. YOLO, you know? Eat 3,000 calories in one sitting.
Would you say 3,000?
Yeah.
That's so much cal. What are you eating? Pure fat? What is that? Like I've never.
Just like inhale the gravy.
Oh, I mean, I like gravy, but like not purely injected into my body.
You've never tried it then, you fool.
I don't. That's an experience I can do without.
Okay, I'm gonna start recording now.
Bam.
Man, I'm hungry now.
I'm actually really hungry.
Yeah, what are you gonna get for lunch?
I don't know. I think my dad knocked on the door
Yeah.
as I was recording.